Hello, I am Slain Steven, and welcome to today's video. Today, I wanted to talk about the ongoing Operation Broken Fang, investing in the operation, where the most potential might be, and different things that I personally think have a big factor. So first, just so we're all working on the same page, what is Operation Broken Fang? Operation Broken Fang started December 3rd, 2020. The operation introduced new things, such as the Operation Broken Fang Premier Mode for competitive, a stat tracker, new agent skins, new weapon skins, graffitis, patches, and stickers. So, just general things that we've all come to expect in operations, new things for the game, as well as new cosmetics. These cosmetics definitely vary on their potential, like where their max is, and also where should you look into investing your money. So, right now, when I'm recording this, Tuesday, March 16th, the sale hasn't started yet. There is expected to be a sale, because there was a sale with the last operation, and most operations do go on sale. Now, of course, this hasn't been confirmed, but until they announce an end date, I would have to assume there's going to be a sale because of different factors. A lot of people are probably going to spend more money if there is a sale because they'll get more value per dollar, so they would probably end up spending more overall than they initially planned on in the first place. So I think there's very little reason for Valve not to do a sale. Of course, it's not confirmed, and they could just decide, we're happy with the amount we're making, the operation ends in 2 weeks. Finish your missions. Secondly, I wanted to take some time to specifically call out what items I think will have the most potential. So, I'd like to first call out the Broken Fang sticker collection. In the Broken Fang sticker collection, I think that the holos and the foils, as well as the papers, have really good return on investment potential. This is mainly because these stickers, number one, they look really good, especially the holos and the foils. However, all of the stickers have a special effect on them when you scrape them, revealing something different underneath. And so because of that little scraping factor, I think that the papers are going to have a good potential as well, with them getting used up or people wanting to use them in crafts. Now, stickers, especially stickers like these, you're only going to have so much possible potential. No one's probably going to spend more than a couple bucks on a holo and a foil. So if you can get them for cheap, then they would probably return pretty well later down the line. So if you are investing on a budget, the stickers might not be a bad place to look, especially when the sale starts, and everything is expected to drop a little bit in price. I should go ahead and reiterate that a lot of this is assuming that the prices on a lot of these individual items is going to go down when the operation goes on sale, because there'll be more of them. People will flood the market trying to get rid of them, recoup their money as quickly as possible, things like that. Next, I wanted to quickly touch on what specific skins I think are going to be a good investment from this operation's collections. Not from the Broken Fang case, because I've got a separate little bit I want to talk about on the case and the case as a whole. So, what skins specifically do I think are going to be really good investments? Well, I think pretty much any skin in the Control collection is going to be a decent investment, because as the top skin in the collection is only available in factory new and minimal wear, the Op Fade, most skins will be traded up trying to get that Op Fade. And that is true for the other two collections, the Havoc and the Ancient. But the Havoc and the Ancient Reds, the Welcome to the Jungle and the AK-47 X-Ray, both have wares that go all the way down to battle scarred. So you have to try and kind of get the better floats on those items. Not necessarily for your own trade ups. If you do want to do your own trade ups, then yes, you want to go for the highest floats possible to get the most return for your money. But with the control collection, you kind of have a little bit more leeway. However, due to the popularity of the op fade, I think it's important that everyone realizes that it is going to be by far the collection that is the most flooded, like the most saturated with skins. There's going to be a ton of M4A4 global offensives, right? There's going to be a lot of those compared to items in the other collections because people are mostly just trying to get their op fade because that's the item people are spinning because it's the one that's worth a lot of money, especially if you get a high fade percentage. And everyone spending these stars thinks they're going to get an op fade in a really good float, in a really good fade percentage. So that market, I think, is going to be really saturated, but especially as people go for those high fade percentage trade-ups, I do think that especially the USPS and the Blue Phosphor M4A4 are going to do really, really well because they're going to be eaten up, essentially. Of course, that does have a higher barrier to entry than other skins in the collection. So you could also look for really good floats, especially if you can find a really good deal on a good float, on lower tier skins, purples and blues, that people are going to try and use to save up to get a really good float, Blue Phosphor or USPS, to then trade up for an op fade. In the Havoc and the Ancient collections, to be honest, I think everything purple and above in a good float is going to be a great investment. Because just like the other collections, they're going to be used up. With these collections having really good skins, in my opinion, the best looking skin in the collection is the M4A1S Welcome to the Jungle. It is the best looking skin. However, it is on an M4A1S as opposed to, say, an M4A4 or the AK, like the AK X-Ray. So that does kind of affect its price a little bit. It probably doesn't have the highest highs as the other skins, but I think a lot of people are just going to go for it due to its appearance. Because it does, again, look really good. It's probably the best looking case, or best looking skin in these collections. The next cosmetic group I wanted to talk about is the agent skins. Now, I don't think there's going to be amazing potential for a lot of these skins. I do think a lot of them look really good. Number K, who is probably the one you've seen the most in your casual games or your matchmaking games, looks really good. Sir Bloody Daryl, I think is his name, yes. Sir Bloody Daryl is the top T-sided skin with different variants, and I do think different variants are going to do better than others when it comes to him, but I think overall you might actually see some return on him. But I do think that agent skins aren't seen as, great investments, and I don't think they're great investments because they don't have a lot of desirability. Because, besides your forearms, it doesn't really change much about the game to you. It's more of a thing to show off to other people. The female SWAT lead, I think she looks really good. Again, don't think any of these things are going to be great investments, but if you've got a couple extra bucks lying around after you make your other investments, and you want to, say, maybe grab a couple different versions of Daryl, or maybe a couple SWAT team skins, I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. Now, what I do think's a bad idea is the recoil stickers and graffitis, and also the skill group patches. While I do think that the skill group patches look really good, I don't think they've got a lot of potential for the same reason why I think the agent skins don't have a lot of potential. They're not visible to you, they're only visible to other people. If you want one to slap it on your agent, go for it. If you're looking to try and make money off of it in the long term, I just don't think the potential is there personally. It does have a low barrier of entry, so if you've got a limited amount of capital, you could go for the patches, but I do think there is another item that is probably going to be the best investment per dollar, especially in the short term, and I think it's going to be the operation case itself. Now, in the last operation, Shattered Web, those cases did amazing for months. They went up to, I think, $3 or $4 at one point. Then, the Fractured case released, which had the same knives, and that plummeted the price. However, Valve definitely seems more willing to put a single glove set in a single case, as seen with the Clutch case, with the Gen 2 gloves. But the knives, I think they see as more desirable, so I think they want to put those in more cases. Now, I'm not saying that the Broken Fang glove collection is only going to be in the Broken Fang gloves, or the Broken Fang case. I think they're going to be in another case, but I actually think that's going to be a lot farther off. I think what we're going to see soon is a case with the Shattered Web knives in new finishes, maybe even 2 or 3 cases with those knives in different finishes before we see another case with these gloves. And I could be completely wrong. They could have dropped a case while I've been recording this video that have the Broken Fang gloves in it. I don't think that's going to happen. And I do think that these gloves are only going to be available from this case till at least the end of the year. So if you're looking for a short-term investment, probably till the end of the summer, I think the Broken Fang case is going to have the most bang for your buck. I do want to give my final thoughts on the operation as a whole. I think that the skills tracker being added, or not the skills tracker, the stat tracker being added, is really good, and I hope it stays for later. It really helps you find out what weapons you're doing good with, what weapons you need work with, what maps you need to work on, things like that. Like, are you actually hitting your shots in their head? It, like, shows you where you hit them, kind of like how in Valorant, after each fight, it's like you're aiming for the legs too much, aim up, It literally lets you see what you're doing and how to improve. I do love the idea of a premiere mode with a map pick ban system, things like that. I do think there needs some changes to it, but overall, I think it's really good. And I do hope competitive goes in that way. Woral actually made a video at the start of the operation talking about Broken Fang Premiere, and I do recommend you go listen to his thoughts on that because I do agree with a lot of them. But anyway, thank you for watching. My name has been Slayin Steve, and be sure to subscribe for more content on everything from investing to top 10s. What are your thoughts on the operation? Be sure to let me know down below along with any other questions or comments. If you liked the video, hit that like button, and dislike it if you disliked it. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you all soon.